Hello everyone, I'm Brian Croy Dragon and welcome back to the Dungeons and Dragons world for Minecraft Bedrock. Rage! Yeah, can't get me up here. Yeah, it can get at me a lot better now. I swear I've heard that death cry somewhere before. I think it's the one used for the shades from Warcraft 3. Rage!
Oh, my focus. Excellent. Have you cleared the path to the portal?
Well, not exactly. Not exactly!
Oh, you even took care of that big, bat-like thing? That one looked particularly menacing. If I'm being entirely honest, I nearly peed myself when it stopped by to try to get into my cell.
I'm sorry, the what?
Oh...
Knocker mentioned some sort of flying monster before we came, but we haven't seen it yet. Think it's still here?
Oh, yes. I saw it just yesterday. If it hadn't flown off by then, something must be keeping it here. My guess is it's feeding off whatever energy's coming out of the portal. Or perhaps the lesser demons coming through, treating the portal like a fishing hole. Well, if that thing's still hanging around, then it will probably rip me to shreds the moment I try to seal the portal. I'll find a place to hide, or maybe just stay in this cozy and very safe cell until it's dead or driven off. Once you've done that, I'll close the portal and we can get out of this place. I would guess it probably perches somewhere up high. Might want to start searching the upper levels.
Okay. Strange. Why? Okay, that makes more sense. Excuse me.
Wow, I've never actually been up quite this high. Is this what it's like for you? Viewing the world from above while flying? Everything spread out so endlessly.
It was.
Any chance those specks are dangerous or harming anything in the area?
What a lucky day this is. The two souls have come to be packaged into the same body. I was getting hungry.
It can sense me?
And hear you. Yes, one must say that it is a delight to encounter a soul as rich and potent as yours, noble worm. I cannot say that in all of my centuries I have ever consumed any of your kind who are older than mere adolescents. Young and tender, yes. But their souls dwarves do not have the potency that yours does. And all of this without contending with your fiery breath and iron-hard scales. Oh, you are most generous in coming here so exposed.
The monster seems to be almost shivering in anticipation as it flexes its claws and bares its teeth. You get the sense that you might only have time for one question before the thing's patience runs out.
Who or what are you?
I am Carlvanak, the Basho and rabid dog of my master. You will not even keep him near, lest I begin killing and consuming the souls of his other minions. But such is my nature. I cannot help but end. I'd savor the screams as a creature's essence is removed from the universe. Speaking of which, I believe that my patience for pleasantries has reached its limit.
Okay.
Luckily for you, you will not have to face your deity's judgment when I am done with you. Death will be the true end. Once I devour your souls, not even a shred of you shall remain in this universe.
Oh, jeez. What the? Okay, hit that time. Hello? What? Okay, it's moving, it's moving. Are the battlements, or whatever you want to call this, blocking the fireball? I think it is. Oh.
So, down into the abyss, mortal.
We'll see.
Fools. Even if you strike me down and destroy my body here, I will simply reform in the abyss. And when I do, and when my master carves a path into this world, nothing will stop me from hunting you down. Your souls will be mine in the end.
Well, that just happened. Let's head back to Kimmerin.
Well, that was quick.
Oh, well, that was downright unsettling. Still, the deed is done. However, I fear that what magic I could work here today was limited and will only be a temporary solution. Once I have some rest, though, I can return and enact something more permanent.
Could you use the Rod of Alignment to keep the portal shut? Put things back the way they're supposed to be.
That is a good idea, but I do not know how to say this any more clearly than to say that the portal being open is how things are supposed to be.
What?
It seemed to have opened on its own, naturally. I've heard of such phenomenon, but never seen it. I suppose we just got unlucky. Using the rod, though, would just reopen the rift, I'm afraid. Nothing can ever be easy, can it?
What about the other people still in the prison? It will be some time before more guards appear to help them.
Oh, I plan to free them all. I cannot abide by anything being trapped against its will. If these prisoners prove to still be dangerous to others, though, well, then it will be my responsibility to find and eliminate them. Lots of work if that happens, but I'll manage.
If they hurt people after you let them out, then you'll be just as responsible for any damage they do.
True, but I cannot punish someone for a crime they haven't committed yet. I'll just have to wait and see.
How can you trust them to not do whatever it was that put them in here to begin with?
Hopefully, they've learned from their mistakes by now. That being said, I will also make it very clear what will happen if they cause too much trouble.
What about the crimes that they have already committed? They haven't finished their sentences.
Not my problem, and I don't really care about such strict laws. Way I see it, just being stuck in here was punishment enough. If they break the rules again, though, then someone will put them down. Might be me, it might be someone else.
Could you use the Rod of Alignment to keep the portal shut? Put things back the way they're supposed to be.
That is a good idea, but I do not know how to say this any more clearly than to say that the portal being open is how things are supposed to be. It seemed to have opened on its own, naturally. I've heard of nothing
Okay.
can never be easy, can it?
Are you ready to go back to Nalkra now?
Oh, once I've had a bite to eat, sure. There must be something around here that hasn't rotted or been gnawed on by demons.
Beggars can't be
As soon as
choosers.
I'm rested, though, I'll turn into an air elemental or a snowy owl. Something. Fly to Nulkra's cave. I'll be there long before you.
Stay safe then. Would have hated to go to all this trouble just for you to get eaten by a crag cat or something on the way back.
Yeah, well, the benefit of being a druid is that I can always turn into one of them if they try. Maybe insult their mother to get them to back off. You wouldn't guess it, but they're surprisingly touchy about their mom's crag cats. Never you worry. I'll see you there.
Get the heck out of here. Okay, now where is the horse? Well, looks like we're going back on foot. This is nice, all things considered. Beautiful country up here. Rage! I was expecting to see Vair's possessed body. Not that thing. The Nabasu. A tent?
The Illithid, also known as Mind Flayers, once ruled vast empires across multiple worlds, conquering whole races and forcing them into service. Ships like this one were how the monsters traveled between the stars and across planes of existence. Be glad that this one is long since crashed and abandoned. Otherwise, its presence would foretell a coming calamity.
Rage! Okay, so that way, let's just take one moment and no new stuff to add to stats, okay. Let's just carry on. Oh jeez, that's a lot of them. Did that thing respawn? Rage! I like this place. How about we dip on in here for a moment? Dwarves, I'm guessing? Oh, owl bears. Yeah, more of those Yeti things and a walker. Two walkers. And three more over there. Rage! You know what? Just go past them. We're almost there.
return. Good. I can now say to your face that I do not enjoy being deceived, dragon.
I was afraid of this. Be careful.
How did you find out?
I did a bit of divination while we were waiting for you. I had to make sure that the Rod of Alignment was going to someone trustworthy. Or, well, you withheld pretty important information, so maybe not someone trustworthy, so much as not going to turn the Rod toward destruction or the undoing of everything good in our world. We figured out what you would want the Rod for, and personally, I fully support your desire to return to your natural form. Especially if it means unearthing whatever your attackers are planning.
And what about after the dragon is returned to its form? Can we trust them with it then?
I'd hope so. If not, though, we can always take it back. Either way, can't condemn someone for something they haven't done yet, right? Give it to them with my blessing.
Fine. But if you can hear me, dragon, I do this not for your sake. I do it for the child. They do not deserve to have their thoughts constantly invaded and should be able to live their life without someone constantly whispering in their ear. A person's mind is meant to be their refuge and safe haven, even when nowhere else is. Besides, there is something about you, child. A sense of impending significance, for lack of a better term. I have been in this world long enough to trust my intuition, and it tells me to keep an eye on you. Regardless of what happens to the dragon, I will be curious to know your doings. Now go, hunt your quarry, and remember that the rod is not all-powerful. You must weaken your target first if it is a living thing. You have a battle ahead.
Any idea where we might find the creatures that stole Vair's body?
I tried scrying them too, but their lair seems to be protected from such spying. Sorry.
I may have an idea, though.
We'll take any advice you can offer.
Speak with the dwarves of Kelvin's Cairn. I have overheard their conversations whilst traveling as a storm. They speak of their kin in Mithril Hall facing a mysterious crisis, though I could not learn any details. Still, their troubles and yours could be related. If so, they may provide direction and help against a common foe.
It is as good a start as any. These foes are unnatural to our world, so they are bound to make disturbances that we might be able to follow.
Well, it's a start at least. Thank you both for your help.
Happy hunting!
What? How do I get out of here? Okay, hold on. Save and crit. Let's just see. And be hopeful. It's quiet. What? How do I get... I can't believe I have to... Okay, unlock all settings. Okay, but that means I just can't get out of here. Okay, just pause list. Okay. I had to go into creative and, break myself out. I did check a video on YouTube, it appears to be just a glitch on my end. I would have been very disappointed if I couldn't, then I'd just have to, you know, head back. Start over. And pray that it doesn't happen again. Yeah, definitely dwarves.
A stranger? Welcome to Kelvin's Cairn, true home of the legendary Brunner Battlehammer himself. And who might you be?
What do you mean, true home?
Ah, well, though Brunner was born in and became king of Mithril Hall, anyone who knew him said that his heart was really here in the Dale. Essentially, abandoned his kingdom to come here, actually. Questionable leadership, but makes for great bragging rights on our part.
My name is Katra, and I'm looking for a group of people and monsters. Have you heard anything about anyone working with chalky-skinned creatures that have bones and spines poking out of their flesh? Maybe a wizard in a mask?
Don't know about any wizard and haven't seen any monsters like that about, but we have had some tales from our kin down south in Mithril Hall. Just rumors, mind you. Before the trading caravans from our cousins stopped coming due to the blizzards, they had some stranger things to say. They were all over the place with the tales, but the consistencies between them told how civilians were losing their minds. There's been sabotage, murder, and people just up and disappearing, or trying to go into the deeper caves where they had no business being. Oh, and some people had talked about glimpsing a new small folk, they think, down in the Underdark. Just saw small, pale, white humanoids with grinning teeth and yellow eyes.
Yeah, sounds pretty
At
cryptozoology.
the risk of jumping to conclusions, that sounds at least similar to what you witnessed in your home. Not to mention that the small folks she mentioned sound like the star spawn gruel we have encountered.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a look at least. Thank you for the information. We'll get out of your hair and...
Boss, we're under attack! Some creepy pale things with spikes coming out of them! They're swarming our guard posts!
Friends of yours?
You could say something like that.
They must have finally tracked us down. I knew they would eventually come for my soul as well as my body.
How many are there, and how didn't we see them coming? The scouts asleep?
The scouts didn't even have a chance to see them! Things just appeared right in the tunnels, behind one of our sentry posts! I think something teleported them here!
Get the workers and civilians into the deeper tunnels and call up the rest of the garrison. You follow them to the shelters until this is cleared up.
You kidding? Like I'd miss a fight.
Your funeral, kid. Follow me.
Come on, let's take him down.
They're after a human!
Right.
I think that's all of them.
Indeed, but we have not seen the star spawn anywhere else in the Dale. If they were transported specifically here, that implies that they were coming for us.
How do you figure? They could have attacked us any time.
Maybe not. No one saw you in my cave when the cultists attacked me. It could be that they did not know who had my soul after losing the coin that held it. If they had known that you carried my soul, then that wizard in the mask would have either killed or captured you to take it back when he found us in Wizard Edro's tower.
So they've somehow figured it out since then, and have some way to find or at least track us.
That would seem to be the case. We should leave. If more pursue us, I do not want innocents caught in the fighting.
Vair, that actually sounded rather generous and thoughtful. Downright altruistic, actually.
Just get us to Mithril Hall quickly. If we stay in one spot too long, it will make it all the easier for the enemy to attack us. And we do not know what their capabilities are. For all we know, this invasion was either the entirety of their force, or but a tiny fraction of their army.
Good point. Yeah, we should go.
Okay, we're almost there. Horses. Now let's check the menu first. Excellent, excellent. Whoops.
Need a lift?
The journey out of Icewind Dale is slow and treacherous, the snow hindering your progress with yetis taking advantage of your predicament.
Oh, they were yetis.
Still, after repelling a few raids, you manage to round the spine of the world, feeling the fresh, warmer breezes rising from the south as you turn east and skirt the foothills as you make for Mithril Hall. You keep the fetid, troll-infested swamps of the Evermoors to your right as you near your destination, climbing the last slope in the mountain shadow and passing through the dwarven city's main gates, hoping to find the lair of the Starspawn.
Chapter 4. Strange, the Wayfinder doesn't seem to be showing anything.
Lots of guards on duty. It certainly seems that something has the dwarves on alert, though whether it has to do with us.
Honestly, I hope it does. As bad as that could be for the dwarves, it was a long way to get here, and I don't want this trip to be for nothing.
Agreed. Though I will be more than happy to leave these tunnels. We've only just arrived, and already I cannot help but feel trapped.
We'll get in and out as quickly as we can. Just tell me if you start having problems, okay?
I will. Thank you.
Please stay behind the line. Next. 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 Step forward. Next. Step forward.
Lines in my Christian Minecraft.
Next.
What's gonna happen to us?
Next. Stay behind the line, please. Next.
What's going on? What are you doing?
We're trapped! Get us out, Katra! We are easy targets here!
What's happening? What did I do?
The precautions have marked you as dangerous. You'll be detained, examined, and questioned.
Why did they say I'm dangerous?
Our wards indicate that there's been tampering with your mind or soul. There's a foreign entity inside.
Again? How many times will our simple presence be a cause for suspicion or study? This is growing tiresome.
Do you have any explanation for this?
I carry the soul of a dragon within me. We are here hunting the ones who took his body from him.
My first instinct is to call you nuts and throw you in jail. But perhaps there is more to this. Either way, you'll be detained until we finish evaluating you. Our commander's on the way to address this personally.
And how long will all of this take?
That is for our commander to decide. You might not be allowed to leave at all.
So you're the one who set our alarms to screaming like a goat that's been cornered by a mountain lion? Fingir, I don't feel like wasting our time here, so cast your spells and let's get on with our lives. If you resist his spells, he will know. Submit to them, or we will use more invasive and painful methods to get what we need out of you.
I would suggest that you answer Commander Tordek's questions fully and truthfully, while providing any other information that's applicable to our investigation and/or Mithril Hall and its denizens.
As the dwarf casts his spell, you feel a sensation akin to what you did when Thesserai's assistant cast Zone of Truth on you. This, however, is more direct, targeted, And instead of trying to prevent a certain kind of action, you can feel something trying to take control of a part of your mind and thereby compel you to follow his instructions.
Sure, let's try resist.
This seems like a fairly reasonable request. No reason to not be honest with them, right?
Good. The first thing I want to know about is this entity inside of you. Finger says that there is another consciousness living inside of you, but that it does not seem to do you any harm. What is it, and do you or it wish to harm the people of Mithril Hall?
No.
It is the soul of the noble dragon Endandravayir, and neither he nor I wish you harm unless you conspire with our enemies.
It seems that your magics have not failed you yet, old friend.
No, though I must admit to not believing it when the detection spells registered a dragon's presence.
Surprising as all of this is, what business have you in Mithril Hall? Why come here?
We have heard rumors about strange things happening in Mithril Hall, including disappearances and bizarre behavior. Since the people and creatures we are hunting are not of this world and have a history of kidnapping while working with humanoids, this seemed the most likely place to look.
While I am sure that some of the rumours you have heard are exaggerated, things are certainly not ideal here either. Before we go any further, perhaps it would be best if you started from the beginning and told me all you know and what manner of foe you are looking for.
I will endeavor to be as brief as possible.
Good. Time is precious, though take care not to overlook any important details. So these pale things in the tunnels we've found, that they are not from Faerun explains why no one in the city is familiar with them. We had thought that they were perhaps a lost people from the Underdark, as those caverns are vast and not all of them explored. I had suspected that their appearance might have something to do with our missing people.
What did you think they had to do with this?
I had thought that perhaps they were the ones controlling those who we found trying to enter the deep tunnels. That this is probably a cult that some of our missing people might have joined willingly makes this issue all the more complicated and dangerous.
People have been behaving strangely too, right?
Aye. The commander of Mithril Hall's scouting forces had repeatedly sent squads into the Underdark over the last months, and none of them came back. He also pushed for expansion into the tunnels and other projects that would put workers and fighters outside of our gates and barriers. We moved to question him, but he died when we tried to arrest him. I wonder if perhaps he was an accomplice to this cult. It makes me wonder just how many of our own people have willingly surrendered themselves to this cause.
What did you think they had to do with this?
I thought that perhaps they were the ones controlling those who we found trying to enter the deep tunnels. That this is probably a cult that some of our missing people might have joined willingly makes this issue all the more complicated and dangerous.
People have been behaving strangely.
Right.
The commander of Mithril Hall's scouting forces had repeatedly sent squads into the Underdark over the last months, and none of them came back. He also pushed for expansion.
Okay, so
Question him, but he died when we
so it's just the same.
taken the dragon's body. That is not an enemy we can allow to rest at our front door.
So what do you plan to do about it?
Kill it, of course. If you cannot remove the creature from Endandravayir's body, then a dragon controlled by a cult is not something that we can ignore.
But you are willing to let us try first.
I am. Partly because the most callous and pragmatic smart thing to do would be to allow it. If you succeed, then the problem is solved. If you fail, then you will most likely die and be unable to stop us. Furthermore, you seem to genuinely believe you can accomplish this, even while compelled to tell us the truth of yourself and your journeys. You have spoken of overcoming monstrous creatures and seem to have a plan with this Rod of Alignment, which Fengir would salivate over if you gave him a chance to examine it.
I would not salivate.
Yes, you would. Because of your confidence and because it is right to help a goodly dragon, we will move forward with your plan and aid you as we can. Our scouts have tracked these Starspawn to a set of ruins in the Underdark that they seem to be using as their base. Chances are you will find your dragon there, or at least more information about where it could be.
That's...
However, confidence can be unwarranted. To make sure that you are up to the task, we will test you. A simple sparring match should do. It will be you against, say, 3 of our best fighters.
Oh,
If
come
you beat
on.
them, then we will assist you. If you cannot, then we will have to consider you a liability and keep you from interfering while we kill the possessed dragon. Much as it pains me to admit.
3 against 1 seems a bit unfair. Are they really any good?
The ones I have in mind each earned their reputations fairly. One slew a hook horror when he was a fresh recruit in the army, and the other 2 were essential in finding and exterminating an illithid outpost.
Are you nuts? If they're that good, what makes you think I could take them out all at once?
If you cannot defeat them, then what makes you think you can overcome a dragon? Much less everything between you and it.
Sorry, hook horror?
A predator of the Underdark with a sharp beak and a pair of hooks instead of arms that are just as capable of rending flesh as they are of helping the monster climb about. They are normally pack hunters, but Varg managed to get cornered by one. Crazy dwarf hacked it to pieces, though the things are covered in a carapace as tough as wood.
What is an illithid?
They're more commonly known as mind flayers. They stand like people, but have tentacles on their bulbous faces. They read minds, can brainwash prey, kill you with their psychic abilities, or simply crack open your skull and suck your brain out. Now that I mention it, there have been more reports of mind flayer signs lately. Should look into that.
And what if I refuse?
Then you will be stripped of all your possessions and kept here in this cage until the matter is resolved.
Very well. I accept your terms and your challenge.
Excellent. In that case, Fengir, you may remove the restraints and end the spell.
Bashaba take you, Tordek. Felt like I was about to start bleeding out of my eyes from maintaining the suggestion for so long.
I would never let that happen. Else your wife would skin me alive once she saw you.
And I would let her.
You're free to go now. I will return to my other duties, and when you are ready, report to the Silverbeard Arena to face 3 of our champions.
Okay. Okay, so Wayfinder is working. What have we here? Let's stock up. What in God's name is that? Immolation. But first... a little bit of an upgrade is required. Now let's just take a look. Check, 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 check.
Remember, this fight determines whether you even have a chance to save me and separate us. Not to make you panic or cause undue stress, but this might as well be a matter of life and death.
Yeah, right. No pressure. Thanks.
Did I come from the wrong side?
Ah, yes. The human. Turek said that he was sending you this way. Ready to get beaten into the dust.
What are the rules for this fight?
Don't kill each other. About as simple as that. Try not to maim each other either. Magic is wonderful stuff, but cutting off an arm could kill someone as easily as stabbing them, and it gets really expensive and difficult to bring people back from the dead. So, yeah. Don't go for anyone's eyes or dismemberment or anything like that.
I'm ready. They might be surprised about who gets taken down today.
Uh-huh. Sure. Well, let's get it over with.
Okay, maybe we should, let's give Immolation a shot, see what it does.
Well, I'll be. Wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't seen it myself. Guess Tordex saw something new and was right. Again. I should know better by now than to second guess him. Anyhow, I'll send word along that you've passed his test. Once you're patched up and ready, speak with him about whatever it was that got you down here in the first place.
Okay. No, I'd like to do this with a fun party. Oh, okay. So does it just circle around? I thought there was an office like down there.
Ah, there you are. I heard the good news. I suspected that you would at least make a good show of things, but even I'm impressed to hear that you defeated all 3 of the warriors I picked. Perhaps you can save your friend after all.
So, what now?
Now I am going to send you with a squad of soldiers into the Underdark to invade the lair of a relatively unknown foe. We have a very rough estimate of how many Starspawn there are, but if there are any cultists or prisoners, they have stayed within the ruins. I have already made the arrangements and my soldiers are moving ahead to further scout and prepare for the attack. Before you leave though, you should wear this. This will prevent anyone from scrying on you, like the cultists probably did when they found you at Kelvin's cairn. Don't want the evil little vermin to see you coming now, do we? Now get going. You have a dragon to rescue.
What did you give me? Where do I put this? Do I just... Okay, guess I just... I'm gonna keep it on my person and in my inventory. This helmet makes me feel like I walked out of Highlander. There can be only one! Okay. Venture at your own risk. Okay.
Without sunlight, there is little plant life in the Underdark. Instead, mushroom forests like this one sprout from decomposing material. Creatures come to feed on these mushrooms, and those creatures are eaten by predators, and then new mushrooms grow from what is left over. They are not too different from forests on the surface in that regard. Just don't try to eat them, is all.
And... oh, we got a stat point. Oh, for goodness sake. Yeah, let's... what the... okay, let's get the intelligence up. And that would be all for today. I'm Brian Croydragon signing out. Stay straight.